Hello everyone, my name is Thor and welcome back to Anthropology. Welcome to another video. I hope you're all well. This one will be outside of my regular content, mostly just because I need to talk about this show. So, if you are not on the same TikTok algorithm as I am, or if you are not a member of Crave or HBO Max, then you may not know about the show Heated Rivalry. I haven't felt this strongly about a piece of media in, I don't know, long time. I haven't been this obsessed about something in a very long time. Not saying something because I'm pretty much chronically online. But this show, Heated Rivalry, has awakened something in me. It has really validated something as well. And I just wanted to bring my voice to the conversation. I want to know if y'all are watching the show, what you think down below. If anyone's read the books, please don't spoil it. I've not read the books, but I do want to. I will be trying to get them somehow. They're currently on back order pretty much everywhere because the production or the publishing house did not really anticipate the demand that would come from this show. But essentially, this show was released November 28th. There's only 3 episodes right now for a total of 6 episodes coming. It's basically the Game Changer series come to life on TV. The Game Changer series is an MM or male man romance series set basically on the backdrop of hockey. And there are a few different couples I think that we will be introduced to throughout this series, depending on how long it goes for the television show. But in the books, so far, we have been introduced to 2 sets of couples. The first 2 episodes focusing on Shane and Ilya, the Heated Rivalry book, which is book 2. And then the 3rd episode, which focuses on Scott, Hunter, and Kip. So this does include spoilers. So if you are not caught up, I guess stop watching this video, but if you are, join the conversation, baby. Reid is the author of these books from Nova Scotia. She wrote the initial book in 2018, and from there wrote the subsequent 5. In 2023, Jacob Tierney, the creator of the show, approached Reid in order to propose creating this show. In 2025, it was announced that Bell Media and Crave would be sponsoring the creation of the show in conjunction with the Canadian government for funding. Now, what this show is about is like the tension and the heated rivalry between the on-ice animosity between 2 captains of hockey teams, Ilya for Boston from Russia, Shane for Montreal representing Canada. There's a lot of Olympic play in this as well. And then obviously the addition of Scott Hunter for USA. So it's this on-ice animosity that becomes a secret, passionate, sort of forbidden love story. And I think what really drives it home is the passion and the chemistry between the 2 leads. Shane, which is played by Hudson Williams, a Kamloops native, lives in BC in Vancouver. Shout out, maybe I'll see him on the street. And Connor Storrie, who plays Ilya Rozanov. What I really love about this show is that I think because it was an adaptation of a book, and maybe because it's like Canadian or whatever that means, they're not spoon feeding the audience, sort of like announcing everything that's being done. There's a lot of, if you're not watching the cues of the show, if you're not watching the acting, if you're not seeing the context of the scenes, you're not getting the story. If you just focus on the dialogue, you're missing a lot of what is being said and what is not being said, because the chemistry between the 2, because it's such a forbidden romance, there's so much longing in their connection of will they, won't they, and there's just so much, like, the tension is palpable. Like, watching the first 2 episodes, I was gobsmacked. Even the first episode, like, the scenes are pretty crazy. Like, I guess in retrospect they're not as explicit as I thought, but there's a lot of not safe for work elements that are within the show, and it really is like soft core, if you will, with a side of hockey. A lot of people are like, oh, it's like a hockey show. It's like, no, it's not. They're hockey players, but it's not a hockey show. Now, what I also really enjoy about this is that it really does show queer relationships in a different setting, especially highlighted against the homophobia of the sports world. And the NHL is the only active, or like the only North American league that does not have any out players currently. And I think with this backdrop of the show showing that, like, listen, statistically speaking, 1 in 5 people are queer. It's facts. It's statistics. It's, if you're going to go out in the world, you're going to find that. It's not as rare as you think, as much as society and conservative values would want you to think. It's really not as rare as that. So the fact that it's like there are no out players, it really does highlight that. And I think the show really does a good job in a few different ways of highlighting the insecurities of the players themselves and their need to hide and live this sort of double life. But I think it's really better than a lot of other queer media in the sense that it portrays things, I think, yes, there are elements that are unrealistic for sure, but I think for the most part, the feelings that the characters are portraying are fairly real and dynamic. And a lot of times in media, queer or gay characters are just portrayed as either these one note sort of accessory people that are just like hype people for like their female characters, their female friends, or it's like these really sad, depressing stories of like ostracization and like self-harm and potentially even like death. And I think this show does a good job of portraying the longing and sort of the beauty of these queer relationships. And I think the reception of this show has really shown that there is a palpable audience and appetite for this type of media, and people want to see it. People want to see two really, really attractive men just go at it. And also the storyline. Obviously the storyline too, but like that's pretty much what everyone's talking about. Like people want to see that. And I think this show is like showing, in addition to like a lot of other shows around marginalized groups, that there's an appetite. Like when these media companies actually work on stories for marginalized groups, even though a lot of these times they're underrepresented and even under not as expected that they'll do well, they often exceed the expectations when it is released because of how repressed the media is around it and the pent-up demand for it. There are only 3 episodes out so far. I really do think the 3rd episode, even though it's a significant change of pace in terms of passion from the first 2, I think it does a good job of really showing the complexities and the interplay between wanting to be out, wanting to show your love, but not being able to because of your own internalized homophobia. Whereas a lot of I feel like the first 2 episodes is more so like an unspoken secret almost, but the 3rd episode really does show that it's like broader than just the team aspects, and it also shows the power dynamics at play, because obviously Shane and Ilya are on the same footing, so the power dynamics are a little bit different than Kip and Scott, who are on significantly different levels of the power dynamic. But I am eating this show up. I am gobbling it up. I cannot wait to get my hands on the books so I can read them. Let me know what you all think of this show. Let me know what you think of the books, if you've read them, if they're like significantly better or worse. You know, you never know. Sometimes the books are like, sometimes the show is better, sometimes the books are better. I want to know from people who've read the books, are the books better or is the show better? And let me know what you're excited about to see. Like, no spoilers, please, obviously. Don't spoil it for me, but I am obsessed with this show. I love the chemistry of the actors. Like, this is the story we've been like needing. And I'm also just like, I'm patriotic a little bit. Like, Canada did this. Like, I feel like the States, especially right now, this type of show would never come out. It would be like blacklisted. But the fact that this was going to be just a release within Canada, and then because of the demand outside of Canada, it was thus sold to HBO, and now it's being distributed with HBO Max more globally. But this was just going to be a Canadian secret. And the world wanted it, and thus here we are. And it really goes to show as well, like, Canadian media is very strong. Like, the other one that came out this year, K-Pop Demon Hunter, smashed Netflix records and became one of the largest movies of the year for streaming. And, you know, it's like Canada's got the goods, and everyone just needs to start paying attention. So that's my video. I needed to just get this out because it's literally my brain rot. Like, it's all I can talk about, it's all I can think about, and I need you all to talk about it with me down below. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm not sure how often I'll be making these types of videos. Maybe I'll become a book talker, who knows? But yeah, Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.